invite you for a trip around one of the most charming places in Lower Silesia, to the Jeleniogórska Valley and the city known as the Pearl of the Karkonosze, Jelenia Gora. Nobody who has seen the panorama of the city, with the Karkonosze in the background at least once, needs to be persuaded of the charm of the picturesque location of the city with a stack in the coat of arms. Its rich and turbulent history shaped the city full of mysteries, colorful nooks and historical relics. Jelenia Gora is located in the southwest Poland, in the middle of a picturesque valley, surrounded by mountain ranges of the Karkonosze, the Izerskie Mountains, the Rudawy-Janowickie and the Kaczawskie Mountains. Interestingly, there are significant differences in cross slopes. The highest point of Jelenia Gora is the Czech and Silesian Stones, located on 1,416 meters above sea level, and the lowest is Borowy Jar, on the altitude of 311 meters above sea level. Jelenia Gora is crossed by 3 roads leading to Vienna, Berlin and Prague, and it is closer to all those cities than to Warsaw. Jelenia Gora, a city with 900 years of history, makes an attractive destination not only with its picturesque location in the mountains, but also with its rich history, which is the effect of 3 cultures blending here: Polish, German and Czech. The city harmoniously combines the qualities of its historic old town, famous health resort and charming holiday resort, where all the routes lead to the mountains. Walking around Jelenia Gora, you may everywhere come across buildings entered on the list of historical objects of the National Heritage Board of Poland. In the city, almost 350 objects were honored that way. History lovers would find here numerous architectural monuments, such as medieval castles and fortifications, Baroque and Renaissance palaces, and wonderful Art Nouveau tenement houses. The market square, surrounded by tenement houses with arcades, considered one of the most beautiful market squares in Lower Silesia, and the classical town hall with its medieval well, discovered in the past years, deserves special attention. The panorama of the city is crowned with splendid sacral buildings, including one of the so-called Churches of Grace in Lower Silesia, Church of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross, with its magnificent organ of a unique sound, and Basilica Minor of St. Erasmus and Pancras, with its monumental 18th century altar. Historic towers are also worth seeing: the Tower of Krzywousty, the Castle Tower and the Grodzka Tower, which remind of the medieval history of the city. Each year, crowds of tourists discover the unique atmosphere of those places. Those who seek unforgettable landscapes and fascinating legends will be led by tourist trails to ruins of a medieval castle Hojnik, as its majestic skyline can be seen from almost every point in the city. This place has many secrets and is the subject of numerous legends. The most famous of them is the story of beautiful Princess Kunegunda. This exceptionally beautiful daughter of a castellan promised to marry the bold man who would complete a circuit along the castle's walls on a horseback. Many knights perished on the rocks of the Piekielna Valley. Finally, a knight came along who succeeded. Kunegunda fell in love with him, but he rejected the cruel princess. The princess, in despair, thrown herself off the wall of Hojnik. Rumor has it that nowadays, at full moon, you can still hear steps of Princess Kunegunda walking around the castle and crying for her beloved. Those preferring the quiet and magnificent panorama of the Karkonosze Mountains would head for Jagniątków, with the museum of a Nobel Prize winner Gerard Hauptmann. That is the place where Gerard Hauptmann lived and wrote, very often in his writings praising the beauty of the area. Wissenstein Villa, built in years 1900 to 1901, for almost half the century served as both the writer's shelter and a center of cultural life for many writers, novelists, intellectuals and artists from the area of the Karkonosze and Berlin, being famous for its valuable collections of art. Karkonosze Mountains is the place where you can find many valuable and unique species of animals and plants in their natural habitats. For their protection, National Park of Karkonosze and the bilateral biosphere reserve Karkonosze were founded and entered on UNESCO lists, protecting the flora and fauna of the Karkonosze on both Polish and Czech side of the border. When visiting the Karkonosze, another place which cannot be ignored is Cieplice Health Resort. Cieplice is one of the oldest and most popular health resorts in Poland, which is famous for its medicinal thermal waters with temperature that reaches 90 degrees Celsius. The springs, with their beneficial effect, have served numerous health resort visitors and have been used in treatment of various illnesses. Located at the foot of the Karkonosze, it attracts with its exceptional beauty and special microclimate. The central point of Teplice is Piastowski Square, with the Szafgoczy's Castle, which is one of the numerous historical relics built owing to this aristocratic German family. Walking along the route of Teplice, you will arrive at Park Zdrojowy, renewed in the 19th century, and further at Norwegian Park with a charming font, rich trees and amazing view of the Karkonosze. The Jeleniogórska Valley, with its exceptional cultural, scenic and natural values, is unique on both national and European level. Its exceptional multicultural character is manifested by its numerous magnificent buildings of historical architecture, including historical complexes of palaces and mansions. The beauty of the area is crowned with unforgettable landscapes, forests, ponds and meadows, as well as large parks, creating breathtaking architectural and landscape complexes. In order to make tourists familiar with those valuable historical jewels of architecture, tourist trail was founded, called the Valley of Palaces and Gardens of Jelenia Gora, leading along about 30 buildings from medieval housing towers to palace and park complexes. 11 of them have been entered on the list of historic monuments of the President of the Republic of Poland, including the most beautiful palace in Łomnica, Bojanów, and Paulinum Palace in Jelenia Gora. Many picturesque tourist trails and interesting bicycle routes start in the city, and the diverse natural topography makes Jelenia Gora an unusually attractive place for those who love tourism and active recreation. The location of Jelenia Gora in the mountains and favorable weather in the area allows for mountain climbing, aviation, hang gliding and paragliding. The wave of Karkonosze, known in Europe, attracts glider pilots from Poland and abroad. Jelenia Gora is also a perfect place for trips to nearby mountain resorts in Karpacz and Szklarska Poręba, where you can spend your time actively or just rest in peace and quiet. To find out about the uniqueness of Jelenia Gora, you just have to come there, and the beauty of the city, Jeleniogórska Valley and the Karkonosze Mountains will remain in your memory for many years. Nothing can be more beautiful than location of Jelenia Gora, a beautifully built city with numerous splendid buildings in a valley surrounded by hills on all sides with a magnificent view of the Karkonosze Mountains. John Quincy Adams.